Good morning, dear friends. Today we are going to discuss that particular portion of English grammar which we had been studying right from the inception of our academic career, that is article. As it's known to you all, articles a, an, and the are the most frequently used words in the language English. Actually, articles or article is the part of determiner. Now, what is determiners? Let's not go into the details of the grammatical, let's say, the definitions. The meaning of the word determiners is very loud and clear, that which determines. What is to be determined? It determines something specific about noun. Noun, it's a naming word, and for that particular noun, be it name of an individual, be it name of any mountain, river, or any disease or anything of that sort, determiner actually determines specific or gives some classification or the type of, say, that particular noun which is being discussed and before which the determiner is being put. Determiner, broadly, it can be categorized into 4, 5 or maximum 6 categories. The first category of the determiner is possessive. What is possessive? If any noun is under the possession, mastery, ownership of any individual or any system, that noun is called possessive noun. The example is my pen. So here my word determines or says something specific about the pen, that pen is possessed by me. Similarly, my, your, our, his, her, etc. All these are the possessive determiners. Now, ordinal and numerals. Ordinal means first, second, third, fourth, like that. Ordinal means something related to the order of anything. The first chair is a very good chair, or the second in the row is a very intelligent student, right? Similarly, it is called ordinal numbers or ordinal, and numerals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This also determines. This determines there are 2 cows, there are 5 patients. So this is also one of the part of the determiner, but most important that we are going to discuss today is articles. These articles are broadly categorized into 2 categories. One is called definite article, another is called indefinite article. So further we will be discussing about articles in details. The another one is quantifiers, related to the quantity, giving something, specific information, special information about the quantity of the things. Give me 2 spoonfuls of sugar. So it's quantifier. It is called and predeterminer. All the boys are ill. Here noun is boys, the has been put specifically here, and all is put in between the noun and the article. The is put between noun and quantifier. Quantifier. Much, not all. It is much. No student has come. It quantifies 1, 2, 3 what to say. Not even a single student has come. And similarly, predeterminer, all the boys means all and boys, in between is the, so it is called predeterminer. A determiner which is used together with the article, and lastly at last it is boys. So here these all are the types of determiners, and among all these types, article is the most important, and generally it is considered to be the most confusing one also, because it's very difficult to say whether a will be used, where an will be used. It becomes very difficult generally from the very inception of our life up to 10 years or 12 years of a study. It remains quite vague whether using this particular article is correct or what. So that we want to be clear about, and start with, we will be discussing few basic things related to articles, the basic information, the concepts. Thereafter, few examples are given over here just to prove the rules that we will be discussing. Most of us will be very much acquainted with all these rules, and we are very much aware of this fact that determiner like a, an indefinite article, the definite article, where to use definite article, where to use indefinite article. So in brief, I will be simply putting all these things before you. This is part 1 of the teaching. In part 2 of the teaching, we will be exclusively putting stress through the examples on the correct application of article for those students exclusively who are preparing for OET and IELTS and similar such examinations required for crossing the hurdle of going abroad. Now let's begin with see articles. Definite, indefinite. Definite, the indefinite, definite, the indefinite, a or an. The first thing, where to use a and where to use an. Basic thing is that on the basis of sound, first thing, on the basis of sound, vowel sound and like honest man, honest boy. He is an honest boy. Not due to the spelling, because the spelling starts with consonant, but the sound that is spoken while speaking, the sound that comes out first from your mouth, that is all. So and will be applied over there. Similarly, vowel consonant sound, a before consonant sound, like a university student. Okay, written with you, which is a vowel, but it sounds university student. So a will be used before the university. So application of a and an is based upon the sound. It's an indefinite article. It's an indefinite article that also determines something. That the things being discussed, or the person being discussed, or the noun about which or about whom we are discussing, that is not any certain noun. So that is not any certain person. That is not any certain object, any certain things. For example, suppose we write, see, there was a king. So we don't know who king that was. About whom we are discussing, we don't know. We don't understand the things. But there was a king. Here a means any or someone. Like that, there was a king. It is uncertain. So it's indefinite, the noun about whom you are speaking, about the person you are speaking, that is not a definite. But the moment we come that the king had 4 sons, a very old story that from the very inception we had been listening. So there was a king. Here the king is indefinite, not knowing anyone. And the king had 4 sons, means that king which has been discussed into the previous sentence, again in the further sentence we are mentioning about the same king. So it will become now a definite king. The means that king. The king which was mentioned in the first sentence, that king had 4 sons. So the is used in the case of definite article as a definite noun about whom we have already discussed in the previous structure of sentence. So this is one thing to be known. The another thing is also very important that must be discussed in brief over here. That is, say, noun. Noun generally divided into 2 categories. One is considered countable noun. And another is called uncountable noun. As it's clear, the countable noun is that noun which can be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that something. And as it can be counted, so it will be having definitely 2 different categories, singular and plural. Singular means one, boy, suppose it is boy, and plural means boys. Or you can say the another wound, W-O-U-N-D, wound. nouns. So, article is used in countable noun, singular number, generally. In very special cases, there can be application of plural, before plural also, article, okay. But generally, article is used before the singular noun. Singular countable noun. And the article will not be used in general case before the plural countable. So far as the idea of uncountable noun is concerned, in the uncountable noun, we are not, we don't actually, rarest of the circumstances that we will be discussing, we will be applying articles. Otherwise, there's no application of articles. Okay? So these all are the basic things that should be known to us. Now let's, on this basis, let's begin our studies. This much of information has been already imparted to you, and after that, let's start discussing the following sentences, whether they are correctly used or what are the problems, what are the errors. Correct the following sentences. Examination is needed to rule out cancer, right? Examination is needed to rule out cancer. This examination word is singular or plural? This examination word is singular. In plural, it will be examinations, which has not been mentioned. So, examination, it is countable. 1 examination, 2 examinations, 5 examinations, as it is a very it's known to us that it's a countable noun. So, before using the countable noun, we have to put article. That is examination. Nothing has been, we don't have any definite information about the examination. For the first time, the word examination has been used over here, and so it will be indefinite article required to be used. Now when we are going to use the indefinite article, as it starts with E, a vowel sound, so an examination. The correct sentence will be an examination is needed to rule out cancer. Right? If it will be written examinations, the first thing will be that it will become R. Right? Examinations are needed to rule out cancer. That means there will be no application. In plural, no application of article. Examinations is right. Now, the patient had episode of heart flutter. The patient had episode of heart flutter. Okay, patient, doctor, nurse, or any profession or any, it's a kind of a specific. So the application of the is correct, because before any profession or before any particular classification of the individual, like patients also belong to a particular class, and that also it is singular. So it is a definite article, a class of individual, that is the patient. So the patient had, now episode can be, it is singular, it can be plural, episodes, 2 episodes, 5 episodes, or single episode. So here the episode is the singular countable noun. So the application of and is essential over here again, just because it's giving the vowel sound. So the patient had an episode of heart flutter, right? If there is complaint, if it will be here patients, if it will be here patients, then there is no use of the patients had episodes, then it will, this also will become plural, of heart flutter, right? The third sentence, if there is complaint, if there is complaint, inform the doctor. One more information, if any sentence starts with if, there will be a comma, and thereafter the further information, conditional information will be given in the sentence. If there is complaint, so complaint again countable noun, and where it is 2, 3, 4, more than one complaint, then it's complaints. But it's not complaints written over here, it's simply complaint written over here. So it will become, if there is any complaint, there is a complaint, if there is a complaint, inform the doctor, right? The doctor is a profession, lawyer can be a professional. Similarly, any profession, there will be a definite article, application of definite article before the name of profession of anybody. Now, the patient will require an assistance in operation. Now see, assistance is an uncountable noun. Assistance is an uncountable noun. And as it is an uncountable noun, there is no need of application of any article. So it will be removed from here. It will not be an assistance in operation. Rather, it will be the patient will require assistance in operation. Right? Because its assistance is uncountable. An advice is required immediately. Again, advice also it is an uncountable noun. And as advice is an uncountable noun, so there is no use of any sort of article over here. Initially, she came to me for the blood test. A blood test was found negative. See, it's again initially she came to me for the blood test. For the blood test. Which blood test? We don't know. It's uncertain. For the first time, blood test is being discussed. And as it is first time discussed, so nothing has been said previously about this test. So it is an uncertain test. And as it is an uncertain test, so there will be application of indefinite article. Similarly, as we had seen, there was a king, and hence here also initially she came for me for a blood test, not the blood test. Which blood test? The means that blood test. But no blood test has been discussed in the past, so it will be indefinite article. Blood test for a blood test. A blood test. And now a blood test was found negative. Here the blood test is known to us. Here in this sentence the blood test is being discussed about that test for which she had come. And the result of that blood test was found negative. So it is a definite article is required over here. It's a definite blood test. So the blood test was found negative. Now In addition, the pain in the right knee joint has appeared over last 2 days. In addition, the pain is again uncountable. It cannot be counted. One pain, degree of pain may differ. It can be severe, it can be simple, not very, it's simply aching, something like that. So it's the pain is, it can be the degree of magnitude, difference of the degree of intensity, but it cannot be counted. So the pain, there will be no application. In addition, uncountable, hence no article. In addition, pain in the right knee body part. Before any body part, application of the is necessary. Any body part, we will be discussing later on. So in addition, pain in the right knee joint has appeared over last 2 days. Now see, over the last 2 days. Why the? Because it is called specification. A specification means, which it's not simply, it's not, the statement doesn't say that any 2 days. It is exclusively mentioned the last 2 days, the 2 days that have passed, preceded just before this moment when it is being discussed. For that 2 days, it's a specification of the time. So whenever such things is used, appeared over last 2 days, specified. So application of the is indispensable over here. There can be many such examples of the same. See, in the next sentence, see that medication needs to be taken. Medication needs to be taken twice a day for next 3 days. This moment, the prescription is given, the advice is given, and this moment onwards, in the coming 3 days, a specified time frame. So this specification, when previous, incoming, next, like that something, when the time is specified. Had it been simply twice a day for 3 days, which 3 days is not mentioned, then there is no need of using. If next is not mentioned, then there is no need of any sort of article. If it's exclusively mentioned that next 3 days for the next 3 days, right? Patient complained. Here complaint is verb. Patient complained. Here about the say the complaint also. When it is complaint, one thing that I can say, complaint is countable. Singular, okay. When it is singular, a complaint, or two complaints, a complaint, and there may be somewhere, if there is a sentence, suppose if it's not available over here. If you have complaints, plural, suppose it is complaints, in singular, a complaint, in plural, if you have any complaints, it will be any used. If it's used in plural, any complaint, it's necessary. If you have any complaint, please contact the doctor. Next is patient complained of chest pain. Patient patient, a category of the mankind, of individual. So there will be always the application of a definite article, whether it is patient or it is doctor or it is teacher or it is accountant or it is any such specification, professional or category of mankind. So the patient complaint. Just also one person is patient, not patients. When it is patients, the thing will be different. There will be no application. But the patient specific complaint of chest pain. Chest pain is a kind of disease, and there is no use of applying any article before the name of any disease. That also should be kept in your mind. Please don't use articles before the name of any disease. That you must have seen in the previous sentence also. Here the right knee joint. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's no. I will be giving you another example. Pain in left. Okay. Good morning, dear friends. So the pain in left groin, we are going to was reported. That particular portion of pain this grammar, body part, left groin, which we had been with the body part studying always from the conception of our definite article career. So pain in pain, that is article, not necessarily any article. Pain is known to you. The left groin was articles A the patient was, and the diagnosed with the are the most widely and most frequently used. There will be no. The patient was diagnosed with arthritis, not the arthritis, right? So actually, articles medication or article same as last part of. Please try to understand and try to keep in your mind. Now, what is determinant? Set it. Let's not go into the details of that. The grammatical definitions. Wherever the meaning of the word determiner is very loud and clear. What? That same means that which determines previously has been discussed. What is to be determined? It was prescribed previously. It determines the same. Something specific about noun. The petition. Noun says it is a naming word. The medicine word same as for that particular noun. Be it name of an individual, same word, name of any mountain, river, or any disease, or anything of that sort. Determiner. The condition was actually determines specific, if it is or gives some classification or type of say advised of that particular noun which is being discussed, and before the we have not discussed minor. We need to discuss it because determiner, gerund, all these things you might be having the knowledge. Categorized. Simply you please do 4 or 5. Patient was advised maximum 6 stop to smoke. Is it a good sentence? The first category, it takes its determiner. Hindi also is possessive. So instead of using what is possessive to drink, we use if any noun. The patient was advised under the possession to stop mastery, drink. Ownership. The patient any individual advised or any system to that noun stop drink is called right possessive. Advised to. The example is my pen. It's not an incorrect sentence. So it seems it's okay. Here, my word determines or says something specific about the pen, that pen is possessed by me. Putting similarly article, my, even if it's not put over our, it will not be considered, etc. They are all these are the possessive determiners. There is habit. Now, ordinal and numerals. Ordinal means perfect, continuous. I mean continuous. Second, third, fourth, like that. tense we will
Ordinal
be discussing later on, but
something related to the
practice
order
right
of continuous. That is
the first.
it's a kind of chair. The
Is a
patient
very
is
good chair.
complaining
Or the
of
second in the row
discomfort
is a very intelligent
during passing urine.
right? Similarly, it is
Actually,
called ordinal numbers,
usually we
ordinal and numeral
cover
format.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These
They
also,
use- this also
the
determines.
patient is complaining
This determines
of
there are 2 cows.
feeling
There are 5
trouble
patients.
or discomfort.
So this is also one of the part of the
During
determiner, but most important that
or
we
why
are going to discuss
he
today.
passes or when he
Is
passes
articles.
urine.
Hmm?
The patient
These
is
articles
complaining of
are broadly
discomfort
categorized into 2 categories.
during or when he
One is called
passes.
definite article, another is called indefinite.
But
article.
instead, actually, we write
So
the
further we will
patient
be discussing
is
about
complaining of
articles and
discomfort
details.
during passing urine.
Another one is
urine.
Quantifiers.
So here, during
Related to the quantity,
specific
giving
time
something
definite time
specific
frame is
information,
given.
special information about the
during the
quantity of the things.
during passing during
Give
the,
me 2 spoonful of sugar. So
okay.
it's quantifier. It is called
This is all
and predetermined.
And now part 2 with the exclusive
all
sentences
boys,
required for
all the
writing.
boys
The referral letters
are ill.
and otherwise writing
Here,
section
noun is
that we will
boys.
be discussing.
The has been put specifically here.
If
And
there is
all
any
any
problem
in
to
between
anybody
the noun,
in the structures that we have
the
discussed,
article, the
you are
is put
requested
between noun and
to call me
quantifier.
on this number.
Sorry, quantifier. Much. Sorry, not all. It is much. No student has come. It quantifies 1, 2, 3. What to say? Not even a single
9
student
AM.
has come. And similarly, predeterminer. All the boys means all
Good.
and boys in between is the, so it is called predeterminer. A determiner which is
So good evening,
used
everybody.
together with the
And,
article and
We
last
have already
year,
discussed the
at last
first part
yeah.
of the study
So,
of article.
Here
In
these
that
all are
part,
the types of
Very
determiners,
brief
and among all these
and a
types,
concise way
article
I
is the
have,
most important
provided you some
and generally
basic
it is
information
considered to
related
be
to
the most confusing one also,
application of article,
because
and
it's very difficult
there
to
we
say
discussed
whether
article is
A
the part
will be
of
used,
determiner,
where and will be used. It
and
becomes
articles
very
can be
difficult,
divided into
literally
two
from the very
categories,
inception of our
definite,
life
indefinite,
up to
A
10
and
years or 12 years of study.
indefinite.
It
The
means
definite,
quite vague
where to
whether
use article,
using
where
this
not to
particular
use, where not
article
to
is
use
correct or
article.
what. So that we
And,
want to be clear
Also
about.
nouns, two types
And
of nouns, two kinds,
Start with,
countable, uncountable.
we will be discussing few
And,
basic things
singular,
related
plural.
to articles.
And all these things I think
Basic
it's not
information,
necessary
the
to
concepts.
go through all those discussions that we had
Thereafter,
already made in the very first part.
few examples
And if
are
at all
given
any
over here
confusion is still persisting, you please go
just
through the
to
video of the
prove
first
the
part.
rules
And,
that we will
thereafter,
be discussing. Most of
I've
us will be
already
very
given
much acquainted
the
with all these
telephone
rules, and
number
we are very much
9
aware
AM,
of this fact
10 am that
any queries
determiner like A and
from any of
definite article,
the
the definite article, where
Now
to
we are
use
proceeding
definite
towards the
article,
second part.
where to use indefinite
And
article.
in this
So
second
in
part,
brief,
some
I will be
pertinent
simply putting all
sentences
these
have been
things.
given, and on the basis of those sentences,
This is part 1 of
we
it.
will be discussing
the
in
proper
part 2 of the
application of
teaching.
articles. We will be
These all are the
exclusively
sentences which are
putting stress
very important
through the
examples
examples
while writing referral
on the
letters.
correct
We usually
application of article
Use such sentences
for those
and
students exclusively
basic say
who are
errors
preparing
the
for
structure of sentence
OET and
can
IELTS
prove fatal for the schools.
and similar such examination required for say
Hence, instead of
crossing the hurdle of
wasting
going
any
abroad.
more time, now I would like to inform
Let's
you
begin
people
with
that few countable nouns and few uncountable nouns are very important.
because those uncountable or countable nouns are very frequently used in writing letters. Those
Articles.
nouns, important countable nouns that I have recollected,
Definite.
and most of them have already been mentioned over here.
Indefinite.
It's not only this much, there are many others, but these are all very important. This is the uncountable
Definite.
nouns frequently used. The this part,
Indefinite.
this part. Through
Definite.
arrow, I have already indicated
Indefinite. A.
that choose
The
words
first thing
of uncountable noun
where to use
are given here,
a
and
and
the
where to
rest
use
of the words
an.
are given here, and many more words are there.
Basic
But
thing
only this much
is
will
that
suffice and will cater your
on the
needs.
basis of sound first.
Now onwards, we are
On the
proceeding
basis of
towards the sentences, and whether the
Vowel
application of
sound.
article, the application of definite article or the indefinite article is solicited,
Like
is required over there or not.
honest man.
We will be discussing that here. The very first
Honest.
sentence that I have given here on the blackboard, you must be
He is an
honest.
honest.
Und on
Not
her,
due to the spelling.
on her
Because
left
the spelling
knee
starts with consonant.
has been,
But the
sound that is spoken while speaking, the sound that
comes out first
on
from your
her
mouth.
left knee has been
That
stitched.
is all. So
As we have already discussed
over there.
Similarly, there should be no, whatever is the
Vowel,
countable noun, consonant sound. So you have here wound
A.
is the countable noun.
Before consonant
And
sound,
it's not wounds. Had it been wounds, plural countable noun,
Like
there was no use of, there was no need to apply any
University
article
is
before it. But as it is singularly used, so here it will be a wound.
okay, written with you,
Application
which is a vowel.
because it
But
is
it sounds
indefinite.
yeah.
We don't know
University student.
about
So,
this wound
all
anymore.
will be used
Simply for the first time, this word has
before
been
the
used over here.
university.
So, application of this
A
wound is
and
discussed
an
in this
is
sentence for the first
based
time. So
upon
it's indefinite,
sound.
and hence it is
It's an
indefinite.
indefinite.
As it is indefinite, so only
It's
a wound will
an
be written.
indefinite article
A
that
wound
also
on
determines
her left knee has been stitched.
that the things being discussed
I'm writing
or
to
person being
refer
discussed or the noun about
Marvin,
about
7 year
which or
old
about
boy.
whom we are discussing. That is not
I am
any certain
writing
noun. So that is not a
to refer
any certain person. That is
Marvin,
not any certain
7
object,
year
any certain
old
thing.
boy.
For example, suppose we write
What's wrong?
a 7-year-old.
It will be not simple. He is the single person.
There was
A 7-year-old boy.
a king.
Further, we will be discussing how to write this a 7-year-old boy. But application
So
of
we don't
a
know who gave that
7-year-old boy
watch is a must.
Otherwise,
About whom we are discussing, we don't know.
Small mistakes.
We don't understand the
You know,
things.
2 or 3 mistakes
But
in a letter.
or 4
There
mistakes.
was a king. And out of these, that
are
was
always
hazardous for the students.
Any
It lowers the
someone
say entire score of the student.
like
And
that. Most
there
of the
was-
time it is
found
uncertain.
on the basis of the
So
previous
it's
experiences
indefinite.
as the noun I have experienced
About whom you are speaking about
that the person
you are speaking.
application
that
of
is not
article.
a definite. But the moment we come,
So let's be very cautious in using all these words. If a
That-
single or small word
the king had
that
food.
can prove fact. So here it is. I am writing to refer Marvin, a 7-year-old boy. A very old
The
story
next-
that from the very inception we
Mr.
have been
Brown
listening has
So
been
there was the king.
patient
Here the king
of
is
mine
indefinite.
for
Not
7
anyone.
years.
And
The sentence is
the king
Mr.
had forces.
Brown
Means that king which has been
has
discussed
been
into the
patient
previous
of
sentence.
mine
Again in the
7
further
years. What will be
sentence,
the
we are
what is wrong
mentioning
about
the same
sentence?
king. So it
Where
will
is the
become
error
a
actually?
definite king.
I think till this
One is
moment I think
that.
you must be able enough to guess yourself
That king.
that
The king which was
Mr.
mentioned in
Brown
the first
has
sentence,
been
that king had
patient
forces.
countable. And
So
or
or
is used not the case of a patient of the article as a different
definite noun
Yeah.
about whom
This is the error.
we have already
discussed in the
The
patient
structure of sentence.
presented
So this
for
is one thing to
regular
The
checkup.
another thing is also very important. That
The
must be
patient again
discussed
here
in brief
for
over here.
a regular checkup.
That is okay. See.
The patient
Now.
presented for regular checkup. No,
Now
a regular
generally
checkup.
divided into two categories.
The doctor listened.
One is
her
considered
complaint.
countable noun.
It's a peculiar use of her or each and all the. Just I would like to discuss in
And
detail.
another is called
Actually,
countable noun.
Complaint is singular and countable. So it should be the doctor listened a complaint as it's clear.
The countable noun is that
Her
noun
complaint
which
was
can be
recorded.
counted. 1, 2, 3,
In the
4,
previous
5 like that. Some
say
and
discussion.
as it can be counted, so it will
we
be
had
having
definitely I had
two
mentioned
different
that
categories.
article is the part of determiner.
Singular
And the determiners also,
And
determiners are of 6 types. It can be, sometimes people call it that the determiners are of 7 types, but we don't believe
Singular
in it.
means
It's only
one.
6 types. And out
I
of those
suppose it is
6
one.
types,
and plural
2
means
types are
one.
very important. One is the possessive determiner.
Or
His,
you can say
him, her, its, their,
The another
all these are the
whom.
possessive determiners. And whenever possessive determiner is used before any noun, then the need of application
article is used.
doesn't remain anymore.
In countable
Then
noun,
the another determiner
singular
also
we had actually
generally
discussed.
in
Very
quantifier
special cases there can be application of plural.
Okay.
Before plural
or
also.
article.
Okay.
Here in this
But
sentence,
generally
we find that
article
the doctor
is used
listened
before the singular.
her complaint. Here,
Count
possessive
singular,
determiner,
countable.
her is used.
And
So there will be no
article
need
will not be
her
used
complaint or
in
any
general case
before the
plural
or determined.
countable.
Other than the article is
So
used
far as the
in
idea
any
of
sentence.
uncountable noun is
Be it
concerned,
possessive, quantifier,
In the
ordinal,
uncountable
ordinal,
noun.
whatever is the form.
we are not
There will be no application of rarest of the any articles
that we will
because
be
two
discussing.
determiners will become a superfluous use of
applying or the
articles.
superfluous
Otherwise,
application.
there's no
So,
application.
the
doctor listened,
Okay.
her complaint. So these all are the
Her,
basic things
each
that should be known to
complaint.
us.
as each has
Now
already.
let's, on this basis, it's
Let's
25.
begin our studies.
Her each complaint was, again it is a determiner.
This much of
Her
information
each
has been already
complaint
imparted to
was
you.
recorded.
And after that,
Right?
let's start
So,
discussing
this
the following
sentences. Correct sentence.
Whether
They
they
are
are
no
correctly
need of
used
change. Or what are the problems?
Thank you for seeing
What are the
this
errors? Patient, an 8-year-old girl. Thank you for seeing this patient, an 8-year-old girl who presented today with a
Examination
broken left arm needed
following
to rule
the
out accidents at her school ground. Now, little bit
examination
longer is needed.
But such sorts of
to rule
sentences
out
are
cancer.
imperative to be known because you
This
will be
examination
writing, you will
is
need to
singular
write
or
sometimes.
This examination
Thank
word
you for
singular.
seeing this
In
patient
plural, it will
and
be
8-year-old
which
girl.
has
No
not
error.
been mentioned.
It's correct
So,
sentence. This part of the
examination-
sentence is correct.
It is countable
And one examination,
8-year-old
two examinations,
who
5
presented,
examinations,
who
as it
presented,
is a very
who
countable.
presented
It's known
today
to us that it's a
with
countable now.
a broken left arm.
So,
before using the
And
countable
before the body part,
we have to put article.
what do we use?
That is
Definite article. So,
examination are broken.
nothing has been
We don't have
broken.
any definite information about the examination. For the first time, the word
The
examination has been
broken
used over here.
left arm.
And so,
Now it's correct.
following
Indefinite
the
article.
accident. Why to
Required
write
to
the
be
accident?
Now
Because
we are
when
doing this
the
as
indefinite
indefinite
article
as
previously
it starts with
it is for the first time
A vowel
that we are
sound.
mentioning.
And it.
So instead of writing the
Correct
word
sentence will
accident,
be- it will be written
an examination is
an accident.
needed to rule out
Vowel
yes.
sound, vowel writing, right?
So the correct sentence will be,
If it will be
thank
written,
you for seeing this
examinations.
An 8-year-old
The
girl
first sentence will be
who
that.
presented
It will become are.
today with the
Right.
broken left arm
Examinations
following
are
an accident
rule out
at
cancer.
her school.
That means
Now
there
this
is no
sentence.
application. In plural, no application of article.
Before the body part, the broken left arm.
Now
So the broken
the
left arm
patient
and following
had
an
episode
accident, because
of
it is for the
heart
first time we
flutter.
mentioned here about that accident.
The
An
patient
accident
had
at her
episode
school.
of heart flutter.
Next stage, 7th sentence.
Okay, patient,
Mr.
doctor, nurse, or any
Mr.
profession or
Robert
any
has
been
it's a kind of a specific
resident.
So
The
at
application
our
of is correct.
nursing home
For
because before any
past
profession
2 years.
or
Okay.
before any
This type of
particular
sentence also we have
classification already
already
discussed in the previous
Like patients also
discussion
belong
in
to
the part
particular
1
class.
what we
And
have
that also it is
specification of time.
So it is
It's
attachment
not only
article.
the time frame
A
that has
class
been
of
mentioned.
a class of
It is not
individual
only the
that is
time
the
frame
patient.
that has been mentioned. So actually
The
what is
patient
mentioned over
had
here is that the
the
continuity,
episode.
the time frame for past
Episode
2 years
that
can be
it is
the time starting from this point
It can
of
be
time
episodes.
and going back
Two
to
episodes,
the 2
5
years
episodes,
in
or
the
a
past.
single episode.
So,
So,
here this is a specific
that
time frame that has been mentioned.
Episode
So,
is the singular
when such
countable
specification
noun.
is given,
So the application
then
of and is essential over here
for
again just
the
because
it's giving the vowels.
for the first.
So the patient had an
Mr.
episode
Robert
of has been a resident at our nursing home
If there is
for
complaint,
the past 2 years.
if it will be
That
here,
will be the
patients. If it will be a patient, then there is no
on
need
review.
of-
Patients had Mr. Walker has
Episodes.
reduced the
also
smoking of heart. Naturally,
Right?
the smoking has no sense.
Smoking.
The
Third
first
sentence.
the smoking, which
If smoking,
he has
there
said
is
drop the
complaint.
say the rate of
There is
smoking, the
complaint.
number of cigarettes he is
Inform
not now
the doctor.
using that much as he used
One more
in the
information.
past.
If
So,
any sentences
on
starts with review,
if today
there will be
Mr.
a
Walker
comma, and
has
thereafter
reduced
further information.
the smoking,
Conditional information will be
given in the
deleted.
sentence.
Now it is
If
correct.
there is complaint based on
Complaint.
sentence, based on above information,
Countable noun.
I
And when
believe
it is 2,
the
3, 4
patient
more than
needs
one complaint, then it's complaints. But it's not
urgent
urgent written over here.
admission
It's
in
simply
hospital.
complaint written over here. So it will become
needs
if there is
the
any
urgent
there is a complaint.
or complaint.
It's not written
If
or
there is
spoken
a
in the
complaint,
uncertain time.
with all the
Inform
emphasis,
With
all the
right.
assertion,
Doctor is a
the
profession.
doctor prescribes
Lawyer
for
can
the
be a professional.
immediate of admission. Similarly, any profession there
Urgent.
will be a definite article application.
So,
Definite article. The correct sentence will be
Profession.
whenever you use
Anywhere.
urgent.
Now,
There should be an application
the
of
patient
the definite article, and will
such
require
types of words and such
the
types of
patient
sentences
will require
and
constructive
assistance.
writing based on
operation.
above information. I believe the patient needs the urgent
Assistance
admission in
and
hospital. 10th sentence.
And
The children were treated by same dentist. This also has been already discussed in the previous part 1.
Removed from here. It will not be.
Whenever
Assistance.
same word is used,
Rather it will be
same means patient
will
the
require
same doctor.
in operation.
So it is the continuity, right?
Because it's
Same means whatever was going on in the past, an advice, whatever whoever doctor was or whatever medicine was demonstrated
advice
in the past,
also
the
it is
same is going
uncountable.
to continue in the future also further. So,
And as
here
advice
the
here,
uncountable noun.
so there is no use
The
of
children were treated by the same
article
doctor
over here.
or the
Initially,
same dentist. Right? She came to me. The
For the
patient
blood test.
has had the influenza
was
for
found
3 days. Now
It's
I
again
don't think it's
initially
necessary to discuss it.
she came to
Because
me
Any
for the
article
blood
is not
test.
needed
for
for the
the blood
application of
test.
the
Which
name
blood
of
test? We don't
any disease.
It's uncertain. For the first time,
Influenza
blood test
is
is
a
being
disease.
discussed. And as
The
it
use
is the
will be
first time discussed, so nothing
Absolutely
has been
used.
said previously.
The
about
patient
this test.
has had
So,
influenza
for uncertainty test, and as it is an uncertain
That is all.
test,
The 11
then
sentences that we have
application
discussed in this part,
indefinite article.
and 14 or
Similarly,
13
as we
like
had
that,
seen,
some
there was a thing.
important sentences
And
have already
hence
been
here also
discussed.
initially she came for
The
me
party.
for a blood
Here I
test,
have mentioned
not
the
blood
important
test.
countable
Which blood
nouns.
test? That means that
Know it
that
before these nouns.
But no blood test
Never
has
any
been discussed
say
in the past.
important
So it will be
such articles are used in the singular number,
Yes.
sometimes in the plural number.
or
Anyway,
a blood test.
and important uncountable nouns where you will not need at all to use.
And now
Anything
a blood test was found negative. Here the blood test is known to us. Here in this
So,
sentence the blood test is
I
being
think
discussed about that test
We
for
should
which
now
she had
conclude
come.
our discussion on article
And the
today.
result of that blood test
And any
was
further
found negative.
required. So,
So it is a
if
definite
more exercises you wish,
It's a
I can be
blood
providing you.
So the
You may make a
blood
call
test was found negative.
on the number that has already
Now-
been given to you in the previous
In
class,
addition, the pain
or any inquiry and more
Inquiry.
exercises.
joint
Now at your beck and
has
call,
appeared
make a call
over
and get
last
between 9 a.m. and 10. Thank you.
In addition, the pain. Pain is again uncountable. It cannot be counted. One pain, degree of pain may differ. It can be severe. It can be simple, not very. It's simply aching, something like that. So it's the pain is. It can be the degree of magnitude, difference of the degree of intensity, but it cannot be counted. So the pain, there will be no application. In addition, uncountable, hence no article. In addition, pain. In addition, pain in the right knee, body part. Before any body part, application of the is necessary. Any body part. We will be discussing later on. So, in addition, pain in the right knee joint has appeared over last 2 days. Now see, over the last 2 days. Why the? Because it is called specification. A specification means which it's not simply, it's not, the statement doesn't say that any 2 days. It is exclusively mentioned the last 2 days, the 2 days that have passed, preceded just before this moment when it is being discussed. For that 2 days, it's a specification of the time. So whenever such things is used, appeared over last 2 days, specified. So application of the is indispensable over here. There can be many such examples of the same. See, in the next sentence, see that medication needs to be taken. Medication needs to be taken twice a day for next 3 days. This moment, the prescription is given, the advice is given, and this moment onwards, in the coming 3 days, a specified time frame. So this specification, when previous, incoming, next, like that something, when the time is specified. Had it been simply twice a day for 3 days, which 3 days is not mentioned, then there is no need of using. If next is not mentioned, then there is no need of any sort of article. If it's exclusively mentioned that next 3 days for the next 3 days, right? Patient complained. Here complain is verb. Patient complained. Here about the say the complaint also. When it is complaint, one thing that I didn't say, complaint is countable. Countable. Singular, okay. When it is singular, a complaint or two complaints, a complaint, and there may be somewhere, if there is a sentence, suppose if it's not available over here, if you have complaints, plural, suppose it is complaints, in singular, a complaint, in plural, if you have any complaints, it will be any used. If it's used in plural, any complaint, it's necessary. Right? If you have any complaint, please contact the doctor. Next is patient complained of chest pain. Patient, a category of the mankind, of individual. So there will be always the application of a definite article, whether it is patient or it is doctor or it is teacher or it is accountant or it is any such specification, professional or category of mankind. So the patient complaint, just also one person is patient, not patients. When it is patients, the thing will be different, there will be no application. But the patient specific complaint of chest pain. Chest pain is a kind of disease and there is no use of applying any article before the name of any disease. That also should be kept in your mind. Please don't use articles before the name of any disease. That you must have seen in the previous sentence also. Here, the right knee joint. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's no. I will be giving you another example. Pain in left